So what are some of the reactions here? We're obviously getting new information as we continue here, but boy, these are happening. Just seems like all the time, and there's a difference. It seems to be between some of the workplace violence and what maybe could be radical Islamic terrorism. What's your sense here on these
Exactly.
things?
Well, I think I mean, anybody who is a father, for instance, as a father, when I was seeing the texts that children, adult children, were writing to their dads. I mean, those sorts of things cause everyone in the country to immediately identify with what must it be like to be pinned in by this sort of murderous rampage. And I think there's a spirit of fear after Paris, after Colorado Springs, after this, that it's a real temptation for the country to fall into a kind of paralysis to fear after all of these things, because that's what terror does. Is one never knows when the next incident will come down the pike. But it's just regrettably lamentable that we're a week out from one shooting to another on the television screens. It's almost hard to believe.
There's a lot of Christians that the first thing they think about, and it's not just Christians, but they want to pray.
Yes.
And yet we've seen in a lot, especially on Twitter and some of the other liberal websites, about, oh yeah, thanks for the prayers, but that's we need action on gun control, and basically forget your prayers to a degree. What do you make of some of this?
To the point that the New York Daily News put up on its headline, God can't fix this. God won't fix this. I mean, I think that the problem is we have such a divide in this country of people who don't even understand religious motivation and religious people. And so, I mean, we all know that in the middle of a shooting, everyone's not going to descend on Washington and pass an omnibus gun control bill, even if that were the way to fix this. So how do people respond? Well, religious people respond by calling one another to pray for those who are in harm's way. And I think we have a lot of people in this country who don't understand that. That's partly our fault. We need to explain what that means. But then I also think that there's a new secularized form of prayer that is #activism. And so what many of the people who were upset about presidential candidates, for instance, saying let's pray for the victims and for their families, what they're saying is let's do something. We're doing something. Well, really all they're doing is calling for action. Well, that's a kind of secularized prayer. When people of faith pray, we believe we are doing something. We're calling on God to be involved in the situation, to comfort people, to restrain evil. That doesn't mean that that's the end of it. I don't think there's anyone who is suggesting simply praying and letting injustice and violence happen is what we should do. But prayer is a very reasonable and good first step for the country.